Kakadosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with the halachot of Havdala and the Motzei Shabbat. Yesterday we brought down the importance of the halacha to do with the wine. That wine, we know whether it's going to be on a regular Seudah or also on Shabbat morning, the second that you made a Beracha, Beracha Hagefen, it's going to exempt the wine which is going to come in the middle of the meal. Now this applies whether it's going to be in a Kiddush or during a regular Seudah. However, though, for the wine of Havdala, it doesn't work. And the reason why is because when we're talking about wine of Kiddush, the wine of the Kiddush is connected to the Seudah, which means En Kiddush ela bimkom Seudah. And therefore, even though you're doing the Beracha of the wine for a mitzvah, but since it's connected to the Seudah, so once you say Beracha Hagefen, now any wine or liquids which are going to come in the middle of the meal, you don't have to make a Beracha on those liquids. However, though Havdala was intrinsically different, that it has nothing to do with the meal. So therefore, if I'm going to come right now and I'm going to do Havdala, immediately followed by Seudat Revit. So I've got the wine and I've got the bread there. I'm going to come, I'm going to make a Havdala. Right after Havdala, I'm going to do a motzi, netilat yadayim motzi, and I'm going to have my bread. If I'm going to have wine in the middle of that melaveh malka, I do have to make a new beracha. And the reason why, not only that, I have to make beracha men shalosh, I have to make al hagefen v'pri hagefen before I start my hamotzi. And the reason why is because since that was coming for a mitzvah and it has nothing to do with the next meal, therefore it's not going to be poter. Maran actually brings down into machloket, is it poter or not? But therefore, to get out of the machlokets, we always come and we say, better saveh berachol hakeh, we have to actually stop, right? And then therefore you have to make al hagefen, and then you're going to start the new meal. The next sif in Shulchan Aruch, which is very important, which is Sif Tet, says, if you do want to eat immediately after Havdala, צריך להיזהר שלא יביא לחם לשולחן קודם הבדלה, ואם מביא פורס על המפה ומכסו. Right? What does that mean? He comes and he says, if it is that you do have the bread already there on the table. So imagine, I'm doing Havdala, and there's going to be food already on the table in order to do Seudat Revit, in order to do Melaveh Malka. I have to be very careful that I have to cover the bread again. Why? Just like by Kiddush, or just like, for example, here many times we have a Kiddush in the Bet Knesset, or they do Kiddushim in the Bet Knessiyot. What happens is that you have Hamotzi, if Hamotzi is going to be on the table, or even Mizonot is going to be on the table, since we know that the Chita, right, with any types of these five species will come before a Gefen, which means whether it's going to be the wheat, right, or the barley, will come before Hagefen. So therefore, how are we going to come and we're going to embarrass the bread by not making the Beracha Hamotzi before Beracha Hagefen? So for what do? In order not to embarrass the bread, we cover the bread, or we cover the mizonot. And that's what we try to do for Kiddushim, or at home. The majority of people have it covered anyway, but at home it's more known. So therefore people will come and they'll cover it. And Kiddushim, they don't think of it that much, so they won't cover it. But it's an obligation to come and to cover the mizonot, or to cover the bread, in order to make sure that you don't have any problems whatsoever of embarrassing the bread. Same halacha would apply on Motzei Shabbat. If you already come and you're going to do Havdala, and the bread is already on the table, if it's not on the table, don't bring it. But if it is already on the table, you have to cover the bread, just like you would cover it for Kiddush or for all the other things. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's very important not to embarrass the bread. And this comes before the Gefen. And if you're going to come and you're going to start doing the Gefen first, you're embarrassing it. So you come and you're going to cover the bread.